The three types of jump ropes that I hate the most are leather, speed cable, and cloth. So in today's video, I'm gonna get into the reasons why I dislike these ropes so much, and then give you some recommendations on what types of ropes I think are best. The one thing that these jump ropes all have in common, which is the biggest reason that I hate them, so I just figured I'd talk about that first, is feedback. The thing that I cannot stand in the whole jump rope space is using a rope that barely kind of comes around, or it's too light and you can't feel it. Not only do I think that those are bad for beginners, if you're an advanced jump roper and you can't feel the feedback or weight of the rope spinning around, it's really hard to do tricks. It's really hard to get an intense workout. So the main reason I don't like any of these ropes is the feedback is horrible. So now that I've said that, let's dive into each individually. First off, the leather jump rope. Listen, I know I'm gonna catch some flack here from some boxing fans. The rope I'm talking about in particular that you see on the screen here is usually made by Everlast, although there's a bunch of different companies that make these old leather vintage jump ropes. A lot of people love these. I get it, they look cool. I'm a fan of how they look, and I'm a fan of seeing them at vintage boxing gyms or in certain movies. But in terms of effectiveness, they are not good ropes to use, and here's why. One, I mentioned the feedback. They're too light, so they just kind of like dangle around and you can't actually get a good workout with them, which is kind of counterintuitive to what you'd want if you're a boxer. And then secondly, the rope being leather is just very stiff. So it kind of, as you're spinning it around, it doesn't come around in this perfect half circle kind of or ovular shape that we usually talk about. And it just makes jumping rope harder. It makes messing up easier. The one thing I will give this jump rope is because it's leather, it is a little bit more durable, and I'm sure that's why they were made in the first place. But since technology has advanced, there's really no reason to be jumping rope with this leather type of jump rope. Also, another downside is they always have these really flimsy wooden handles, which are not great for grip. Number two, the speed cable rope. There's no feedback. And secondly, this is typically a rope that people see in CrossFit or CrossFit games. So it's one of those ropes that, look, man, it looks really cool to see someone doing, 300 double unders unbroken. That's fine. But here on this channel, I'm concerned with burning calories and becoming a better athlete because of jumping rope. With the little feedback and the fact that you basically get no upper body workout, it doesn't really matter to me if you can do a bunch of cool double unders. The calorie burn on using a rope like this is super low. And like I said, it's not great for doing advanced tricks because it's so light, you can't really feel what you're doing. The only benefit that I see to this type of rope is because since it is so fast, I see it being beneficial for footwork or for speed, but because it has all those other things that I don't like about it, I never use these types of ropes. And number three, the cloth jump rope. I don't even know why this kind of rope was invented. It's like the wet blanket of jumping rope. It doesn't even do anything. Like, I know that, hey, any jump rope is better than no jump rope, which I'll talk about in a sec. But this jump rope pisses me off the most because it's just like, I could see it being good for kids maybe because it's not gonna injure yourself. Actually, that might be the only use that I see for this rope is a kid using it so they don't injure themselves. There's no feedback, it's too light, and just because these ropes are typically thick as well, makes it even worse for spinning around. So I hate the cloth rope, that's all there is to say. Now, before I go further into giving you guys recommendations for what you should be using, at this channel, we always have the saying, any jump rope is better than no jump rope. So even though I hate these other types of jump ropes, please hear me out in saying that if this is all you can afford and you only have one jump rope, it's better than none. It's still going to be effective. But this video is specifically talking about if you have the ability to pick a jump rope and you want to choose from all these different types out there, they are not all created equal, and you should try to avoid these ropes if possible. But again, if you're starting out or this is the only rope you have access to, using it is better than nothing. But I would recommend when you are able to upgrade to the ropes I'm about to speak of, you should do it. So what type of rope should you use? Here are my favorites. PVC, particularly the heavy PVC ones. Steel cable with a vinyl outside, again, heavy, not the speed kind. And 3 beaded ropes. PVC, or sometimes called vinyl ropes, you see a lot of these on the internet. There's many different companies that sell these type of ropes. We even have a freestyle rope through Cross Rope, which is the cheapest one. It's like 19 bucks. That is a PVC rope. Now, it doesn't have any kind of steel cable. It's not the most durable, but I do like the weight of these ropes, especially in some of the thicker ones. And I do think that it is a great rope for burning a ton of calories and doing tricks. The only downside to these is if you don't use a jump rope mat, they do tend to wear down pretty quick. Number 2, the rope that I use every single day, steel cable with a vinyl outside. Those are the cross ropes. I'm not gonna get into that, talking about that, because you guys hear me blabber way too much about why we love them. By the way, they are linked up below, 50% off, enter code do the thing. But those are my favorite ropes because they combine durability also with weight and also with the flexibility to still be able to do tricks and have the rope spin fast. So I would look for ropes like the cross rope if you don't want to buy the cross rope, although I would just recommend buying the cross rope. What I'm trying to say is look for ropes that have a thicker steel cable on the inside and then are coated by vinyl on the outside. And if you can, try to find something that is a 1/4 pound or more. And lastly, beaded ropes. I don't use these. I actually don't love these, but I don't hate them because I see the effectiveness, because they have a little bit more weight, so there is feedback, so they're great for beginners, they're good for tricks. Another feature about these that I like when learning to jump rope is because of the beads, the sound is more. So not just the feedback of the rope, the audio feedback of the rope hitting the ground helps you when you are getting started. I also want to remind you, if you are someone who cannot jump rope right now, the ropeless option from Cross Rope is really good just because it gets you acquainted with what it feels like to start jumping rope. And there's numerous other benefits that we talk about in another video, which I'll link up here. So would love to hear your comments on this, what jump ropes you're using, which ones you love, which ones you don't love. And even if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. This is just my personal opinion of certain jump ropes and their effectiveness. But again, would love to hear what your opinions are and talk about it in the comments. Thank you, JRD Athletes, again for tuning in to another video. We'll see you on the next one. If you made it this far to the end of the video, just want to mention real quick the JRD app. The JRD app is where people come to transform. That has all the Jump Rope Dude programs in it. Most of the new programs, I'm completely mic'd up and leading you through all the workouts. We have an accountability forum for people to stay accountable and also get coaching from me. It comes with information on nutrition. It's sort of a one-stop shop if you are someone who's trying to lose weight and get fit with the jump rope. So check it out, it's linked up in the description below. We got a 14-day free trial, cancel at any time.